Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I am shouting at you this morning. And my name is Rich Wallace, and we have an episode of Strictly Business. It is so good to be back on the air with you guys today here at Strictly Business. As I said, my name is Rich Wallace. I am the president of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce from the desert to the sea. An opportunity to meet with you and talk business talk this morning is just exciting. It is raining in Southern California, and I know the song said never, never rains in Southern California. And for those that have been here for the past 30 days, says it never, never stops raining in Southern California. So we've had our share. I'm sure you heard about it all over the country. And I think this is our last day of rain for a minute. So we're going to just go continue to spruce right on through what we're doing. We have an exciting guest for you this morning and an opportunity to network and to understand how some things work. This is Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and welcome to an episode of Strictly Business where we're on the air Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings at 7 a.m. California time, and just enjoying being with you guys this morning. So we're just going to tap into a couple of spots, and then we're going to be back with Mr. Alejandro, one of our special guests today. So stay tuned, and you can see behind me, if it's working right, we have our celebrity golf tournament coming up on June 9th at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. So it's going to be a wonderful time to network and to participate in meeting with other people. So let's take a short break and we'll be right back with our guest.
One of the secrets to exposure for your business lies within supporting Black businesses and entrepreneurs. And that is why the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce is here to connect Black businesses from the desert to the sea. Let's join hands to empower and sustain our community. By becoming a member of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, you can grow your business and increase your clientele. With our innovation, we'll generate new businesses and get new customers. And we'll connect new mindsets with businesses from across Southern California to help bridge the wealth gap. Let's connect, build, and grow together. Join us now at blackchamberofcommerce.org.
Good news for the Southern California business community. Now you can add your business to the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce Business Directory complimentary. We have been working tirelessly to build a list of Black-owned enterprises in Southern California. This is an excellent way for you to be a part of an expansive network and find your ideal customers, business partners, and vendors. So don't waste time. Visit blackchamberofcommerce.org today and add your business today.
And thanks again. If you have not placed your business in our directory, you can go to blackchamberofcommerce.org. You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be anything except for a person with a computer to be able to log in your business. And if you put your link in there, they will be able to hit that link and go right to your website from the directory. We are here to help your business grow and to help you find new business. So help us help you. Simply just go to blackchamberofcommerce.org, click on the directory, and add your business in the business directory. And you'll be surprised. It's all over Southern California as well as in other states. Once again, welcome to an episode of Strictly Business. My name is Rich Wallace, and we are on this morning, Thursday morning at 7 a.m. We are clocking it so that you will be able to connect with small businesses from the desert to the sea. I see a black spot behind me. I don't know what that is, but hopefully it'll go away. I have a guest on today, and we're going to get right to it. I know everybody's busy, so we're going to get Mr. Alejandro on right now, and we're going to bring our guest into the studio right now. Hey, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Rich. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I know a little bit about you, so I want you to kind of start this morning with exactly what it is you do. And we met at an event that was put on by JustWorks. Yes. JustWorks is a payroll company that is offering a $6,000 grant for small businesses in the Southern California region. If you're interested in getting that free money, I call it. Just give us a call and we'll hook you up with Kevin and Paul over at Just Works. They're a new company coming into California. They're an old company out in New York, but they have some great ideas and some great things to be able to put forward here in the Southern California region. So, Mr. Alejandro, how about introducing yourself and telling those folks what you do?
Sure, Rich. It's good to see you again, and thank you so much for bringing me on your show. I really appreciate it. My company is called D&E Management Solutions, and we want to start a movement in the workplace. Our slogan is embracing humanity in the workplace. I've been in management for over 35 years. I've worked at big organizations like Kaiser Permanente, Gannett, UPS, KPMG. I've worked in startups. I've worked in nonprofits. I've worked with all sorts of people: dock workers, doctors, nurses, project managers, IT people, union members, the whole gamut. And I realized one thing is that treating your people well, with dignity and respect, and building on that leads to success. It's good for business. I've worked for very good managers. I've worked for mediocre managers. And unfortunately, I've also worked for horrible bosses. And the horrible bosses have just been a waste of time and effort, and a waste of money. And what I'm trying to show businesses and people in general is that if you start off a relationship with your employees with trust, respect, and dignity, where we can all move up together, sky's the limit. Success will be all around you. But you have to have a certain philosophy and mindset to do that. And what my business does is we put on workshops on looking at business through that philosophy. It's good for business. It's good for individuals. It's good for the community. It's good for society in general. So what we do is, again, we put on workshops with that philosophy. I use a lot of my personal experiences, stories from the places I've worked, the people I've met, to show people, the good that I've seen, but also the bad that I've seen, so people can avoid those situations and how to make those better. And I also emphasize the fact that a lot of people go into management without a lot of training, without a lot of experience. A lot of times they're promoted because they do their jobs well, specifically. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be good managers or great managers. Companies need to invest in coaching, training, and mentoring the right people in management. And that's what we offer. Okay. We also offer trainings, team trainings, individual coaching, mentoring, and training for managers and supervisors, leads. And we want to start a movement where we all treat each other with dignity. And you'd be surprised how many managers don't know the fundamentals of managing 101, how to build relationships with your team, positive ones.
Yeah, a lot of people are like you said earlier. A lot of people are promoted to managers, especially in the sales game, because their numbers were high. Right. But at the same time, they don't manage their customer, so they don't know how to manage people. But yes, they can close a deal, but they can't get people to do what they need to do. You mentioned Gannett. I worked at Gannett also, and when I was in the newspaper business. And Gannett was a good company, but one of the things that you said is that how does a person navigate with a bad manager and a good company?
Right.
Gannett when I was there was a good outfit. They were buying some newspapers, and I was so excited to be in the newspaper industry. Gannett owned a lot of other newspapers, so it was an opportunity to get promoted or to be transferred to different areas and these kinds of things. So as an employee, how do you navigate with the manager that is a horrible manager, but it's a great company to work for? Do you wait it out to see if the person's gonna be gone, or what, or you just keep your mouth shut, sharpen the pencils and do your job?
That's a great question. And I've been in those situations, Rich, with some very, strong organizations that offer great benefits and salaries and things like that. And I realized that if you find yourself in a situation like that, to be honest, upfront, to approach people, to first of all speak to the person that, the manager that's not doing a good job managing you. Be upfront with them, be honest. Let them know how you feel and what you see as them being possibly disrespectful, and what can better the situation between you two. Now, unfortunately, in the corporate world, you have to cross your T's and dot your I's. So when you go into these meetings with these situations with individuals or with other people, you have to take very specific notes and document everything. If that doesn't work, if you speak to the manager and the person does not want to change or doesn't see anything wrong with the way they're behaving, you have to go to the next level. You have to talk to their manager, and you have to keep going up, letting people know what the situation is. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times the situation will not be resolved. I've experienced places where, the executives just weren't interested in what was going on the floor, what was happening in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
They allowed their management they gave them carte blanche to treat the people the way they saw fit. So that is a reality. And what I do in my workshops, I tell those very realistic scenarios and stories because it's the truth. I mean, I've had to leave very good organizations because of bad management. And I tried everything. I went, did the levels, I even went to HR, did things like that, but it just didn't work. So as a person, as an individual, as a human being, you have to be at peace where you're at. You love your job, but the environment, if it's affecting your mind, your heart, your soul, your family, your personal life, you may want to rethink where you're at and where you want to be.
Yeah.
I do believe that you should fight for what you want and what you think is right. But there comes a point where you have to make a hard decision for yourself in terms of your career and your job. Again, I've left places because I didn't feel I was treated well.
I worked for the federal government for a while in the FEMA division. It was a great job. I loved the job. It was helping people in disasters. The agency took pretty good care of me. But I always landed with someone that was either a strong spirit, and sometimes you have to look at yourself. But I like what you said about documenting things that happen. And even as a manager, you need to possibly document the worker. So, so when you're confronted with certain things, and a lot of times as a worker, you don't know why that manager is making the decision that he makes. So put the cup over here, and it doesn't make sense to put it over here, but there may be a reason behind that a person doesn't even know. It's kind of like being a parent. Sometimes you tell your kid to do something and they have no clue of why they're doing it, and they go, well, that doesn't make good sense. But as a parent, you've already experienced these kinds of things, and you know that it's going to come back to that. So as a manager and as a worker, it's kind of like, okay, it's what you were saying is speak to that person. And if you're being a human being with him and he's being, or she was being a human being with you, then you can kind of understand that may not be that person. It's just coming from the top, and they're having to distribute that information and figuring out a nice way to distribute information that they don't even agree with. So it's necessary. Now, in your training, in your workshops, now, are you working for the corporation that comes in and you're trying to train the staff to be good, or are you working with the management team?
My priorities work with the management team, but to also include the non-management staff so they could see what's possible if they take this philosophy and really utilize it on a daily basis. So yes, my focus is management and mid-management, not executives. A lot of people, we have a big industry with executive coaching. That's not what I do. I train mid-managers, supervisors, directors on how to lead their teams, because those are the people that really affect the day-to-day operations of a business, the mid-management people, the everyday staff who come in, work hard 9 to 5. The people up top, they take care of other decisions that go on in the organization. So these people here, the mid-level managers, are a crucial part of any organization, and they affect so many people's lives who work for them. So I've been in mid-management my entire career, and I've always had this philosophy of being respectful and open and honest with staff. And unfortunately, I didn't have the effect on the organization as a whole, because I always had people above me who didn't agree with that philosophy. So I'm trying to get the buy-in from everybody, from up top, mid-management, and non-management staff. Um, uh, it's. I wrote an article. I write on Medium sometimes about the workplace, and I wrote an article. My first article I wrote there was years ago, and the title is "How to Empower Yourself When Your Boss is Making Your Life Hell." And sadly, Rich, that is my most viewed article out of the dozen articles that I've written on Medium. And you can look at your statistics there, and I get a lot of people through search engines, through Google or Yahoo, things like that. So that means there's a lot of people on a daily basis looking up information on how to deal with these horrible situations. To me, it's sad.
Yeah.
People are looking for help. People are reaching out and saying, hey, I'm in this situation at work. I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
So instead of things getting to that place, we have to train the people who are managing how to be decent human beings on a daily basis. I've worked with people who are perfectly fine outside of the workplace. They have their families, they love their kids, they have their friends, kind, nice. But as soon as they enter the workplace, they become a totally different person.
Yeah.
They're dictators, authoritarian, do it my way. They're playing office politics. They're trying to keep what they have. They keep everything close to their chest. And I'm thinking it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
We need people to be decent human beings in every aspect of our society 24/7. So
Alejandro, when you're dealing with small businesses, how would a small business, 1, 2 people, 3 people working, mostly family, and it's difficult. I've had business where I've had a lot of family working in it. What a nightmare, because it's family and it's business, it's a job, but it's a private little bitty company. Would a small company use your services, or 1, 2 people, husband, wife, kid, would they need your services, or how would you approach them in managing their business or managing their people to manage the business?
that's a great question. And yes, any size company can utilize my services. One of my clients is a coffee house here in LA. And what he had me do was, he had a lead in one of his locations who he wanted to develop as the manager of the store. So I worked with this young man, meeting with him every week and helping him to develop relationships with the rest of the staff, having one-on-one meetings with the staff, having weekly team meetings, coaching them how to deal with certain situations that come up throughout the day, how to sit down and talk to someone like adults and say, not that he wasn't doing that before, but we have to look at each other across the table and say, hey, that is an adult, I'm an adult, we can work this out. So now that person has all the tools and resources through my mentoring and coaching and training to be able to lead that team, to be able to be what I call an enlightened manager, and to be able to be productive and successful. Because the main thing about business is you need business, you need clients, you need customers. How do you get that? But you also need people, employees, staff. For the most part, you can't do it by yourself. And for the most part, we haven't been replaced by robots yet.
I saw something coming though.
Yeah, I think it's far off, but there's a lot of things happening. But I still think the majority of people are, even at Amazon, they have hundreds of thousands of human beings still working there. So yeah, I can help any organization. Another service that I provide through D&E Management Solutions is administrative operations functions. In other words, back office functions. I can help people have more effective, efficient back office processes and procedures, admin support. This same coffee house, I helped this person standardize their processes, the procedures in terms of openings. How do you open the shop at 6 a.m.? What do you have to get done? How do you work throughout the day? Who's supposed to work the counter? Who's supposed to do the coffee? All those kind of things. When I got into that business, nothing was written down, nothing was standardized. So everybody was doing their own thing. They got a general, view of what they needed to do. But what I did is I looked over their processes, procedures, and I made them better with their input. Then I trained every employee on these new processes and procedure. Then I documented them so they could be used as a reference. That way, when a new person comes in, it's all documented. This is how you do your job from 9 to 5, from beginning to end. So I also do that with companies because I've been in operations, it's administrative management for most of my career as well. So that's another service that I offer, and that service small businesses could really utilize that service because a lot of times
the back office is what puts small businesses out of business. Really,
yeah.
It's not even the customers that come in. It's not. I mean, they may be doing a great counter work and a great, good coffee or whatever that may be, but that back office, you look at the desks. I mean, even a regular person with the desk is messy.
Yes,
I know where everything is, but you're the only one that knows where everything is. So if you're not here today, we're gonna have a problem.
That's exactly it. And what I tell entrepreneurs is, do you want to waste your time trying to figure out where everything is on the desk? Or do you want to spend your time growing your business, getting new clients? The administrative operations is a very, like you said, a very important role in any business. What I want to do is put efficient, effective processes, procedures, quality controls in place and cross-train your employees, your staff. Mm-hmm. So like you said, if someone goes on vacation, someone quits one day or the other, it's documented, standardized, so the other person can jump in and take over until you get someone new to go in there. So yeah, it's very important. And we do is we can also temporarily fill in for administrative positions like office managers, operations managers, straighten the place out. You don't have to lose anything while you're looking for someone. And then we can help you hire someone permanently if that's what you want and train that person in the new processes and procedures. I see a lot of businesses that, they're looking for an office manager, they're looking for an operations manager, but they want a full-time person. While that process is taking place, things are piling up. Things are getting lost. Chaos is taking over.
Yeah.
So my business could go in there temporarily, month to month, fill in temporarily for their office manager position, implement processes, procedures that are effective, efficient, standardize them, document them, train personnel on them, cross-train other people. Then if you still want a permanent person, we can help you hire that permanent person, train that person on that. And the other service, my Enlightened Management, which I call, we can help you manage these people, the right way as well. So yeah, we can help any business with our services.
And that's a group of the businesses that we service at the chamber offices, 1 to 2, maybe 5 people, but mostly they're small businesses trying to get started. And you mentioned coffee shop. We're opening up a coffee shop in San Bernardino, California.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been visiting other coffee shops just to kind of look and see how they're set up. So it'd be interesting an opportunity to meet the person that you have that has a coffee shop running and just kind of find out what kind of coffee to sell. So
absolutely.
It's always a challenge when we're looking at trying to do some things. But if you see a need and you're trying to fill that need as a small business person. Yeah, they don't have this over here, so I'm going to open up this and I'm going to make it work. But you know little about the working of that. I mean, I'm a avid coffee drinker, but
Yes,
I'm
so am I.
Folgers, you know.
I love it.
So I'm just strictly Folgers, you know. So, and I can spot the difference if my wife switches coffee on me. I'm like, where'd you get this coffee from? You know, or you know, if you go to one of the chain coffee places and you go, you know, but the service. And that one of the reasons that we're doing that is that we have a charter school. We'll do a small commercial about them coming up in a second. But we have a charter school. We want to train people in customer service. So we're doing a coffee or actual internet cafe kind of thing, just to do customer service, not to try to put somebody else out of the coffee business or drive all, you know, it's about customer service. Because I went somewhere just the other day and I'm like, you know, I hit a drive-through. And I had a question, and they never looked at me. You know, they handed me the bag, and they just put your change in your hand. You know, nobody counts your change back to you anymore. I'm thinking, man, you know, I spent all those years learning to count money backwards, and nobody does that anymore. They just, you know, if the machine doesn't tell you how much you get, well, the machine may tell you that you get $2.39 back, but they just put, oh, it's in the little cup or whatever it is. So when you're working with these small business, like you say, you train the staff, you get the manager, you do the back office. Now, do you work with companies like Just Work to help with the back office, or is it just yourself that actually does that?
It's just myself right now that actually does that.
Okay.
I don't do HR. I mean, I have experience with HR. I know the ins and outs of HR, but technically I don't do HR. The benefits aspect of it, I don't do that either. What I do is manage the back office staff and efficiencies and effectiveness and their processes and procedures. I'd love to work with someone that I can, you know, say, hey, these people can help set up your benefits, or they can help set up your HR, or set up, your payroll kind of thing. So yeah. I work with admin staff to make sure that the doors are open at 8 a.m., that they know how to deal with customers. They know where everything's at. They know, you know, how to do, you know, in A through Z throughout the day. So the business owners or the management on top don't have to worry about that. It's there being done, taken care of. It's an important function, a very important function.
Very important function. We have a production company as well, and we have young people there. Putting things back the way you found them is a task for young people. You know, it's like,
it's got to be written down.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. Oh, you know, and then you spend 45 minutes looking for the top. When you took it off, you could have put it back on right then and there. And with camera equipment, there's so many little pieces of this and that, you know, and you're like, okay, where is this at? Who used it last? The younger generation, I don't know what they call them today, Gen people or whatever it is, they do not put things back. And I was always taught, whatever you used, when you leave it like you found it.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that was the rule in my house. Leave it like you found it, you know. And in our businesses, in our school, in our production companies, that is the hardest part, to get people to put things back the way they found them. And I'm going to ask you about that in just a minute, but we're going to take a quick break here so we get a cup. We take a sip of coffee.
Are you ready to change your life? Let us help you. At Youth Build Charter School, you can get a high school diploma and kickstart your dream career in no time. We offer high school diploma programs in construction, CNA, military, college, and entrepreneurship. If you are between the age of 16 and 24 and you want to manage your studies with a job, recover your credits, or graduate early, we can help you achieve your dream. Call us at 1-888-395-4408 or visit youthbuildinlandempire.org.
And as I was just mentioning about our charter school, is that one of the things that, and it's a high school situation. So we're trying to get them through English, science, and math, that kind of thing, get their high school diploma. We're legitimately WASA accredited high school. So the diploma they get from us is just like the diploma they get from any public high school. But in that process, they leave with a diploma and no real skills. So we're trying to teach them skills and finding out that the simplest thing of putting things back is just horrifying. Or like we talk about the messy desk, and I was a victim of that for years. I got a stack over here, and even with the business cards that people collect today, they have a rubber band around them. You go to a meeting, you come back, and you go through those cards 100 times. Okay, I know I got his card. Let me go through here, and I know I got his card. Data is such a big deal today in preparing data. Do you help people log in their data, or show them which Excel or Access spreadsheet to use, or how does because that's where people get lost at. They spend all day long meeting people, getting connected, and then when they get back to the office, it's like, I'm not really connected.
Well, yeah. What I do is, I've worked in different places where you have to track all sorts of things, all sorts of information, people's projects, people's time, people's information. So what I suggest people have is, if you can, to have a shared drive with your staff, where if you get business cards, and if you have a staff member who helps you run the office, you hand them those business cards or those contacts, and immediately they enter them in a spreadsheet, and it's updated, in real time. Those are just very easy tips that people can stay on top of all this data. So definitely, it's something that people need to do redundantly. So you put a process in place, you train the people on them, you document it, you standardize it, and then you make it available for people, either online, on their phones, or you post it in the office.
You mentioned a shared drive. What is that? Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah, a shared drive is a place where you can have different people, give people access to this drive on your computer and share documents. Okay. And what it is, say for instance, you're working on your contact list. So the people in your office also have access to it. So every time they get contacts, they input it. Every time you have contacts, that you input it. So it's updated in real time. So basically, you would set up a drive on your desktop where other people can share into it, have access to it. And it's someone recommended that to me a long time ago with my team, and it does wonders, because you're not like, oh, send me the updated document, email it to me. And then you're like, did you send it to me? Yeah, I sent it yesterday. Is that the updated one? No, I updated it today. Okay, send it to me again. The shared drive is updated in real time with the people you give access to. So you have schedules, you have data, whatever it is there, and whoever you want to give access to, you give access to them, and it can be updated. And you don't have to send email files back and forth and try to keep track of them. Oh, this is saved on Monday. Oh, I gotta save it for Tuesday. So everyone can update the files on that shared drive. It's one of the best recommendations I've ever gotten in my career. It just saves a lot of time, and you don't have to worry about where things are. Is it updated? You have your copy there. I have my copy here. Send it to me. You don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, that's something that especially a small business person could use, is the share drive, and being able to. I see so many people with the rubber band around the business cards, and you'll ask them, and even my staff, I met somebody over here, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, can you send me their number? And they go, well, okay, let me go through these cards. I got them right here. I know, because I've seen it, I remember what it looks like. And sometimes, and I'm a desktop kind of guy, I need to leave it out so I'll know where it is. If I stick it in a drawer, I can't remember where that drawer is, or I lose it. I'm like, where did that go? And if you have an executive director or a staff member, you have to communicate with them on a regular basis. I meet with my staff person daily, because she's very organized and she puts things away, and I don't know where they are. And, it's kind of like, at home, the wife says, well, where are my shoes? They're on the shoe rack in the closet where they go. I left them underneath the coffee table,
Yeah.
So you tend to go back to where you left it, but if it's organized, it goes back to the closet or wherever they're supposed to be, and that way you find out where they are. So we're trying to teach that to young people because they get up from the table as if they're in a restaurant. We have a cafeteria where we feed our young people, and when they finish, they get up like, well, wait a minute, what happened to your plate there? Oh, I just left it. No, this is not, this is not Marie Callender. Somebody's got to pick that plate up, So we tend to not do those things. So that's very important. And you talked about the back office. That's just, and we could go on in how to organize your back office. And what is one of the main things that in organizing a back office that we could say to a person that they would really need to be able to do? And I think you hit on it with the cards. But now that we are paperless, I would say,
we're trying to
be.
There's still a lot of paper.
Oh man, I need the paper because I forget to pay my light bill. They send me an email.
Yeah.
If it gets lost in the hundreds of emails that you get a day, because is it necessary to send out all of those emails? Because when I go through my email list, I go delete, and I try to read the byline if it's not.
Subject line is so important.
Yeah.
Subject line, that's another thing. And you're in an office setting, people who send messages to each other, the subject line is so important. Why is that person going to read your email?
Yeah.
You have to give them what your email is about, and you have to have a specific subject line so people want to read your email, open your email. Very important. Little things like that go a long way in an office. Subject lines are so important that you brought that up. Yeah, because you're there, okay, delete, but you want people to read your email. So it's like you don't want them deleted. So if you have a good, concise, specific subject line, they're going to open your email. But going back to your charter school, what I would do is, document. This is what we want you kids to do in the cafeteria, and post them up in the cafeteria. Please clean up after yourself. Please take the tray, get it clean. Please don't leave the cafeteria, with trays. And I did that at Kaiser as well because I worked in the marketing department and I used to run the floor. There was like a couple hundred people on our floor, and we needed order.
Yeah.
So it was a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Send out messages, flyers, talk to people. This is what needs to be done to keep our place, clean and productive and stuff like that. So it's a marketing campaign, posting, messages and talking to people and training them and documenting it, stuff like that.
You mentioned something that's so simple, and when you said it, it dawned on me. Signage is so important.
Yes,
and people will walk by and read those 3 lines on that sign, where they won't read a document or an email or whatever, but signage is important. So that's something that even a small business, 1 or 2 people, or even a large company, if you put up a sign that says this or says whatever it is, that trigger something in that person so that they would know to be able to bathroom out of order or whatever the case may be. I know with here in California with the new laws and the new rules, if you can't recognize the symbol on the bathroom, you'll wind up in the wrong one.
Exactly.
So signage is, and we're going from letter signage to, I guess, emoji signage or whatever they may call them today. So you really got to know, it's necessary to keep up. And I'm at an age where, I struggled with text messaging. I did not want to do text messaging.
I know. Yeah.
Call me if you need something, and people will tell me, I text you. I'm like, okay, I read those at the end of the day. I had to be retrained to stop and read my text messages every 20, 30 minutes or whenever, when they come through, because I'm on the road a lot and I hear the phone beep, but I'm like, okay, that's not, but young people, that's the fastest way to get a response from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it's all about communication.
It's all about communications. And for me, and I guess you got to know how to communicate with a person. But
Absolutely.
for me, that's the worst way to get a hold of me.
And
It's
people need to respect that. I
yeah,
mean, when you work with people, as a manager, you sit people down and say, how would you like to be communicated? Would you
yeah.
like me to email you? Would you like to have one-on-ones? Would you like me to call you, text you? That's very important because people have different ways of communicating and appreciating communication. If someone like yourself who doesn't like text messages and you're keep texting a person who doesn't like text messages, it's not good. So send me an email. Will do. Oh, give
And
me a
what
call. Okay, will do. So it's really important to have those parameters and people respect them and say, okay, Rich doesn't like texting, so I'm going to email him or I'm going to give him a call. There's nothing wrong with that. We
and
don't
then you
all
get
have
into these
to
text conversations. You answer them, then they give you another message and they answer. And I'm thinking, why don't they just call me? We
exactly
could we could we
pick up
could
the
be
phone.
finished with this, you know, because
Absolutely.
now how do I spell, what I'm trying to text? And
Yeah.
then the abbreviations for texting, I have my young children that are in their 30s, they're sending me, abbreviation. I'm like, what does that mean? You know?
A lot of stuff gets lost in translation on text messages. So
So be careful about your text messaging, especially in business. If you really
especially
are trying to get some things across to people, you really need to be able to be clear about it. And I think one of the things that you said, the subject line in an email is extremely important, uh,
absolutely.
especially with people that get a lot of emails. Uh,
Yes.
and if you're on some massive list and people have shared, and you're getting 60, 70 emails every day, you get 2 days behind in emails. That's another day's job and trying to
Exactly.
find out who emailed you and what they said. And then people will say, well, I sent you an email. And I'm like, well, I saw it and I read it, but did you read it all? Well, the bottom half of the email said something else. I read the first 3 lines inside of the email. I'm like, okay, that has nothing to do with me. Next. Uh,
Exactly. Yeah.
and it is you can get lost in an email or in the translation of an email. And a lot of businesses, I've had people tell me all the time, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I'm the easiest person in the world to get a hold of. What do you
Yeah.
mean? So, well, I text you and I emailed you. Did you call me?
Did you call
did
me?
you did you do the thing that we first started out with on the phone?
Yeah. I
Because
mean, part of my trainings with the staff and management is that communication is, it's got to be concise, accurate. I love using bullet points in emails. That way people see it right there. Bam, bam, bam. This is the ask. This is the follow up. This is the situation. Let's get through it. So it's very important. And to run a business or an office, communication is key.
yeah.
Key, key, key.
So our takeaway today is subject line, keywords. Maybe we could possibly come up with keywords, or you may already have them that can go in a subject. I know in the sales game, early on at Gannett and some of the other places I worked, there were keywords that they would use that would uh, have a client uh, not give you one answer, not a yes answer. You would
Hmm.
have a keyword so that they would have to go into a little dialogue about that. Are there some keywords that you could put into subject line, depending on what you're doing, I guess, that people would use so that you would open my email, especially in the sales, or even in the lending game or the real estate game? I mean, it seems like everybody has a real estate license today, uh,
Yes, yes.
and everybody is a loan agent or everybody is a financial manager. And say, well, I'm a financial advisor. Okay, what does that really mean? Do you sell insurance or
Yeah.
what? I don't know what that
Big title.
financial advisor thing is, but is there some keywords that people would? Because open immediately doesn't get me.
Right. Because especially if you don't know who that's coming from.
Yeah.
So with subject lines, if it's within the office, if it's people communicating with each other, put what the email is about.
Mm,
Uh, Invoice number 355 needs to be paid by March 31st.
mm.
That way, right away, you're like, okay, I have to open this email to prove this payment, that kind of thing. So I don't like using all caps but you sometimes need to use caps to tell people, please open this email, it's urgent. If that doesn't work, you call them. But the subject line should have very specific wording as to what the email entails. And the email should be very concise and to the point. And if you need follow-up, you say that. Please follow up with me next week or the week after that. In terms of reaching out to potential clients, the subject line is very important. That's something that I think us business owners are always trying to perfect. What's going to get that person to open up my email that I met yesterday or whatever. When I meet people at networking events, I always, on the subject line, put the event that we met at.
Yeah.
If you're looking for sales, you can put a subject line of, increase your sales, or this would help you increase your client base, or something catchy in that way. But it's like you said, it's very important. Very important.
I think that's fantastic. Well, I really enjoyed your talk this morning. I appreciate you coming on our show. It's been great. That hour goes by pretty quick.
Yes, yes, it does.
So we're wrapping it up. So, what is the title of your company?
D&E Management Solutions. The D stands for dynamic, and the E stands for enlightened. And we want to start a movement in the workplace where embracing humanity in the workplace is the place where people come in and work together and rise up together. If you're a business, it's very important how you treat your staff. They're gonna make or break your business, and you want your staff all working together, pulling for you. And how do you do that? You build trust, you build respect, you build dedication and loyalty. I like to say that respect leads to trust, trust leads to loyalty, loyalty leads to dedication, dedication leads to innovation, and innovation leads to success for all. It's a team business. We're a team, and we can all get there together by treating each other with respect and dignity. That's our main thing. And with all my years at UPS, Kaiser Permanente, KPMG, Gannett, I've realized that is the most important thing of any business is your people, and treating them well will lead you to success all the way around.
Well, that's fantastic. I think one of the main things that you're saying is that if you treat people with respect, they'll pay extra.
Yes.
I remember in the video production game when they had the VHS tapes and you would go rent them before Blockbuster became big, but they had small individual video stores. And if you think back, it used to cost $75 to be a member of the club. And then you would go rent the videos and all of these kinds of things that they had during that time span. And I would go to this particular video store that was almost $1 more than everyone else. And they were past the Blockbuster. They were kind of out of the way. But when I walked in the door, they would go, "Hey, Rich, how you doing?" And they remembered me, and they would make suggestions of movies that I could choose because they had a list of things and I was asked, "Why do you go over there? You're paying extra." I said, "Because they like me."
Yes.
They, as Sally Field say, they really, really like me. So I would spend extra money because of the type of service that I got when I got there. It was worth it to me. And I think some of the big stores are doing it now. When you walk in the door, they go, "Welcome, hello, hi," and they recognize you. Yeah, that does
it's scripted, though.
Yeah,
it's kind of scripted. The coffee house that my client owns, he has great customer service, and that's how I met him, because I went in there one time and I love the customer service. So it's very important. If your people are happy working for you, they're going to be happy dealing with your clients.
Yeah,
they're going to give great customer service. So it's so important to keep your staff motivated, engaged, and happy. And let me give my website.
Yes, please.
If you are interested in it, it's dandems.com, DANDEMS.com, dandems.com for more information.
Okay,
I'm available
fantastic.
for phone calls or emails or texts, whatever.
Any way you can reach me. This will go on our YouTube channel at blackchamberofcommerce.org, so people will be able to watch it. We will also be sending it out as well in pieces. We're doing something with Spectrum TV, so we're going to have some guests on there as well. So I want to thank you again, Mr. Alejandro, for being a part of what we're doing here at Strictly Business. And if you're in business and you're having customer service issues, give him a call, check him out. If you're having backdoor, and I know you got a stack of paper on your desk that you go through twice a day looking for that same invoice or a different invoice because you know where everything is on your desk. Don't move it. I got a filing system, and you really don't have a filing system.
Yeah.
So get a filing system, and number one, it'll help you with your IRS situation at the end of the year or every quarter, because you won't have to have that battle or trying to explain something that was done the right way but wasn't presented the proper way. So it's so necessary to be able to do that and to be able to have your business work for you. So as opposed to you working for it, I have a friend of mine that said one time to me, says, if you have a business that you have to go to every day, you don't have a business. You have a job.
Yes.
Because if you have to be there every day, that's not necessarily a business, because you can't grow if you have to be in one place all the time. There's no room for growth. You can't have two locations if you're afraid of what's going to happen in one location.
That's a great point.
So to make that location grow and to put those things into place, you need an Alejandro to step in and make it work for you. And you found him on Strictly Business at the blackchamberofcommerce.org. So consider being a member. Our membership is a couple $100 a year, and you get a lot for that. So thank you, sir, for being a part of this and for coming on. And we're going to send you back to the back studio there. We've got a couple of commercials here to do. And I want to thank you again. And we'll be in touch. And I do need that coffee shop's information if you can get that.
Will do. I'll get it to you.
All right. Thank you, sir. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
You too.
Wow. What a presentation that was. I'm telling you, backdoor business is the front door of your business. So if you don't have it set up, give him a call. Give us a call here at the Black Chamber of Commerce, and we can put you in touch with Alejandro. We can get you to the people that you need to be able to connect the dots. My name is Rich Wallace. We are the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce, from the desert to the sea. We have networking mixers from Long Beach all the way out to Palm Springs, all the way down into Temecula, and all the way up into Barstow and into Palmdale. We have our celebrity golf tournament coming up on June 9th. So you want to participate in that. We're going to be at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. It is going to be a dynamite event with connections from the desert to the sea. This Sunday, we're having a poetry reading, a book reading out in our Los Angeles area. So please go to our website and check it out. It's going to be this Sunday. I believe it's from 2 to 6. Great opportunity to network and to meet some people and to hear some fantastic poetry and to pick up that book that you've been trying to find. This is Rich Wallace. This is an episode of Strictly Business. Hang in there and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kevin Wallace, and I'd like to invite you to be a part of the 30-year anniversary celebration of the Southern California Black Chamber of Commerce. That's right, it's our anniversary, and we have a present for you. Sponsor any chamber event in 2023, and you will not only be sponsoring that one event, but your message will be prominently displayed at all of our chapter events, from the desert to the sea. Wow. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get your message in front of our members and event attendees across Southern California. Space is limited, so visit our website at blackchamberofcommerce.org today to learn more.
I've had this problem.
Big problem.
I really needed
A good business consultant.
And I kept searching.
and searching.
There are so many choices.
It's really hard to find one that has all the things on my list.
But I finally did it.
Yes, yes,
Thank you.
If you are looking for one as well,
Look no further.
Here's a really good one.
just use mine.
Use mine.
I'm very satisfied.
Definitely recommend.
Problem gone.
Thank you.
Business owners are raving about the new talk show, Strictly Business, with host Rich Wallace. Tune in as the top experts in business share their success stories, strategies, guidance, and advice to help you grow your business. With guests from the top companies to your favorite influencers, Strictly Business with host Rich Wallace is the show to watch for all things business. Our conversations are strictly business. We discuss new funding options, new business initiatives, best business practices, all things business explained. We provide you with the tips you need for your business, all in one morning business talk show. Be sure to tune in. Are you a business owner? Do you have a story to share? Are you able to help our audience? Then we want you on Strictly Business with host Rich Wallace. Visit the website at edgetvnetwork.net and select Be a Guest to schedule your appearance today.
Hey, that's all you got to do is go to edgetvnetwork.net and schedule an appearance to be on our show. Love to have you. Love to be talking to you about business. Tune in tomorrow. I've got a guest for you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. End of the week. And remember some of the things that we've been talking about here on Strictly Business is, did you do your schedule? How is your time management? Did you plan your week out? When tomorrow comes, will you be able to look at your sheet and say, I did this on Monday, we did this on Tuesday, we did this on Wednesday, Thursday we're wrapping up, and we're wrapping it up on Friday. So make sure that you're putting your list together so that your back office and things that you do will be working out. And remember, June 9th, Pasadena, Rose Bowl, Celebrity Golf Tournament. Go to our website at blackchamberofcommerce.org and be a part of something that's really, really happening. And thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow morning on Strictly Business.